Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's got.
If you're feeling the tension in the air, well, that is because it is the ECAC Grand Finals between 2 amazing teams. Fisher College going up against Ball State Red. My name is Sam Toggs, and joining me is the ever-amazing Chef Billy. And Billy, we are in for a series tonight.
Bonus Billy coverage here as we had a last-minute swap out of personnel help behind the scenes. But I tell you what, I have taken a look at both Ball State and Fisher. Fisher competing in Overwatch Collegiate as well as Ball State. And they've both had a pretty good run through the homecoming event. I've had a chance to take a look at a lot of members of Fisher through contenders as well. And I tell you what, I'm looking at Neb right now. Neb is probably one of my favorite players through in this lobby right now, just because of the support play, the Kiriko play, whatever they decide to come out on.
Right.
They have really made impactful moves and impactful plays during their games. The Suzy usage, we were actually talking about it, myself and my friends, as we watch, all the different competitions that are going on right now. And Neb is probably one of our favorite supports out there right now. Just the game-changing abilities, the ability to turn a fight on his head. That's what Neb brings to this whole lobby right now. So Ball State, yeah, they come in with a pretty darn good record. Yes, they have a pretty good pedigree behind them, but they lost the last meetup between them and Fisher, 3-2. So I think there's a little bit of revenge on Ball State's mind right now, and Fisher looking to capture their first crown.
Absolutely, and that's what we're looking forward to here in these grand finals. We're going to find out who is going to be the grand champion. And this is where Ball State is like, all right, we've come in, we've been able to stand up to Fisher before, but in the regular season, and now here we are. We've worked our way up to the grand finals against a team that is with such a strong pedigree behind it, with such a strong force behind it, a strong team that helps to keep it going. And now they're looking to be able to take the win and to be able to take the crown from Fisher College. And to start things off, Billy, what better way to do it than on Lijiang Tower?
What a surprise. I mean, I was
The fight to try and flip this point back over once more in favor of Fisher. Ball State is doing whatever they can to make sure that doesn't happen, but whatever they can, throwing everything that they have. Now that Faded is back in the field, ready to start swinging that hammer, it is just an inevitability at this point. Fisher once again in control, and it looks like he's going to be slipping away from Ball State. There we have it. The final percent has been given, and Fisher taking Ilios in a very convincing manner, Billy.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower was kind of a weird look there, especially once they got off the Roadhog comp. They started going with a little bit more variety, a little bit more adaptability, getting into the sky, seeing Forgotten going over to the Echo. But this was the beginning of the 6K that came through. I mean, everything in their favor. That was a great photon barrier coming out from Keller. Just give him a free line of sight. So, man, Fisher coming out with fire in their eyes in the grand final. Forgotten doing Forgotten things. And once again, the support play that came out from Fisher State, keeping them up through some pretty chaotic mid-fights, was really the key to them being able to take a 2-0 sub-map win here on Lijiang Tower as we head into our hybrid map.
And we have a big selection of hybrid maps that we can go through, but I think we kind of have an idea, Billy, of what players typically like to lean towards when it comes to hybrid. I mean, we're seeing it in your background right now, so I think we might have, I think we might be able to foresee the future in what we could possibly be going to.
I mean, brawliness aside, yeah. I mean, we saw both the Roadhog and the Reinhardt come out from Faded there on Lijiang Tower. And yeah, this is one of the few Christmas backgrounds that I have. This is obviously Kings Row and Christmas because it's that time of year. I don't have my Santa hat with me right now, but I'll later broadcasts I will be doing so. But, I saw my healthy share of Kings Row the past, 2 weeks throughout Run It Back and throughout a lot of the other competitions that I've been doing. And I mean, people are very comfortable. You have definite strategies that you try to bring to bear on the other team when you just go to Kings Row. So this is where I say, maybe sometimes throwing a wrench in the gears of what people expect you to do can throw a team off. If Fisher is expecting Ball State to come out here and pick Kings Row saying, yeah, we're going to go mano a mano, in fisticuffs in the streets of London. Maybe go to Paraíso. Maybe go somewhere else. Maybe, throw that wrench in the gearbox and really throw this series into chaos.
It would have been nice to be able to have that, Billy, the wrench, the chaos, but it seems indeed we are going to be going to the mean streets of London once more. Comfortability over chaos, it seems to be the name of the game here. I mean, grand finals, though, right? You really do want to make sure that you're playing at the absolute best that you possibly can. And if you're going to be going to any map, it may as well be Kings Row. We still have a long series ahead of us as these two teams are really wanting to show what they're capable of. I don't blame it for wanting to go to Kings Row, but I'm right there with you. It would have been nice to see maybe some of that sort of differentiation into the mix to be able to really throw their competitors off their game, something that they hadn't necessarily seen coming, or maybe they hadn't scrimmed on very often. And man, would I have loved to see Paraíso on the map pool today.
I mean, it's one of my favorite new hybrid maps.
Yes.
Just the differentiation of high ground, low ground, and everything else. But we'll talk about we'll go with that another time. We can talk about it another time. We'll talk about Kings Row and what we think we're going to see coming out here. Doomfist works very well here, especially into a Roadhog composition. If you completely ignore Faded on a Roadhog, if that's what they decide to bring out first out the gate, you can actually use the Seismic Slam to get into the back line, get that empowered punch set up, and then start going to work. And if you see, if they run with a Tracer into it, we had a duo in the Southeast Asia region this past weekend called we ended up calling them Reckinator 2K. And it was a Roadhog and a Tracer, and the Tracer would go on the flank, wait for the Seismic Slam to come in, wait for the empowered punch to get set up, and then go absolutely ham. We saw 2 and 3Ks regularly with it. Now, Fisher, coming out here on the defense, we're looking at a little bit of a poke comp with some brawliness thrown in for good measure. So, the meta right now has not been defined. And I think these are teams, you know, especially towards the top end of collegiate, towards the top end of tier 2. We haven't had a chance, obviously, to see OWL teams compete with any of this this new changes coming through. So this is where we're kind of seeing where the metas are being defined, is by the top of the tier 2 scene. Looking at point A, with the poke coming out from Afera, you can get the work done. You just got to be watching out. And actually, a Widowmaker here wouldn't be a bad choice.
No, it wouldn't be, but it's deciding to go off that. You can't see Ghost back over immediately onto the Sojourn. Speaking of what's going to be happening immediately is Keller. Oh my word. Are you serious?
Vision plus a great aim equals 2 early frags. Almost 30 seconds off the clock already. You can't go see. They do have that coming out the gate, and this is a good look. See?
Nice. It worked out perfectly for them, and with no mercy to be able to bring this far back up, an opening perhaps for Ball State to be able to make something happen. Keller is going to have to make sure that they are landing some precise shots, but with Ball State getting into your backline like that, Manwee putting in the pressure as the Doomfist takes out Keller and Goose on top of it, and so a lot going into their favor. And the point is going to be going to them very shortly. Only thing left that they had to get rid of is Faded, and it is a point A take for Ball State.
Not quite. Yeah, well, I say that as Raven Strider goes ahead and lands a kunai to Forgotten's dome. And that's exactly what you want to see. And now this is where the real work starts to come through. Raven Strider and company. You bring the Tracer, you bring the Kiriko, and you've got the Doomfist up here. You hold Bookstore, and you watch for the setup coming from the Tracer, and then you go with the Seismic Slam, and this is where the flank work starts to come through.
And it looks like they have that communication and the decisiveness to go in there to make it happen. The execution doesn't seem like it was there, and Goose, you can't mess around with them, man. They fall. And now it's up to Spencer to try and get out of there. Trying be the key word, as Keller is going to hunt you down and make sure that does not happen. Fisher College may have had a rocky start, but they've managed to get back in control.
Okay, the sleep of the headshot on a Kiriko is not the easiest thing, especially when Swift Step is available. They just didn't have anybody to teleport to. So we're going to have Dragons up here very closely, and they have not gotten past Archway. I love the close hold here because you force them to have to come through and put their personnel on the point, and with a clearing ultimate like the Dragon Strike should be the way to go.
Forgotten has been given the nano boost, is looking for any heads that could potentially be given to them. A lot of damage comes through from Spencer, who does have the pulse bomb that they could potentially use to be able to make something happen here. Now Raven Strider is going to use the Kitsune Keller! 2 kills inside of the oh my word, inside of the Dragons, and now they're looking for a 4K.
Again, okay, somebody check Goose's PC. They're cheating. They got wall hacks up. They got something going on, because that is 2 sleeps on a highly mobile target, and then the follow through coming from Keller. I'm joking, of course. That's just fantastic play and great coordination. Keller focusing in on those slept targets, but I tell you what, this is going to be a look for them coming through, and they're not happy with this Doomfist right now.
No, they're not. I'm a little scared. You can see that Manwee was respecting Goose on the Ana. Wanted to see if they could maybe fight them, but inside of the building, it was just gonna be too much for them to deal with. Another sleep lands there, and you can see Ghost capitalize on what their teammates' efforts was in order to get the railgun shot kill onto Goose, taking them out. Another charge up goes. With the healing, the monkey is gonna be protected by the immortality field, and the heals come through to keep them alive. Just not enough as Neb's trapped inside of a corner. Not gonna be able to survive this time like they did on Lijiang Tower, and Ball State finally being able to get a foothold for themselves to begin pushing the payload.
I mean, Sam, this is what we saw a lot as what we're now starting to call our standard composition coming out of Ball State. This has actually been a lot of meta looks coming from the top tier teams. So they're starting to find the range, they're starting to find the coordination, but Forgotten could change everything on them unless Forgotten gets spotted out, and there Spencer does do exactly that. Now this should be easy point control. They should be able to go into the Foundry here relatively unscathed.
You've also forced Faded off of the Winston back over to the Roadhog. We're going to be looking out for the big hooks and, of course, the massive amounts of damage that can come. But Ball State has 3 ultimates that they can work with, including the overclock that you can't see Ghost has just popped. But for right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to fight too much as the words were coming out of my mouth, though, Billy. 1 clean headshot onto Goose, and then the Meteor Strike from Keller is going to be doing a lot of damage. Faded is still holding the line with the rest of the team, and Forgotten, as they switch off of the Widowmaker to go to the Genji, it seems to be putting in the work. 2-3 kills for them. and the bulwark continues to stand for Fisher. 1.04 meters is all Ball State had to do to get it to point B.
This is the lovely amount of chess that we see coming through from these teams. We know that there are picks and counter picks that can happen, especially when you've got a Zenyatta on the field. Man, we are going to have to be really on their mettle here to be able to deny getting taken out because of that Discord orb.
I never thought I would be saying this. The Genji Zenyatta combo to take a stand against a Doomfist comes out successfully on top, and now they get to go right into the back line and start wreaking all kinds of havoc as Ball State wants to try and make their way out of their spawn, even trying to make it through the archways, but it's just not going to be happening.
You can go with the dry blade here and just get maximum value out of it.
Forgotten doesn't seem like they're going to be able to pop that off. Instead, practicing a little bit of patience into not doing that. But I mean, when you have Faded, oh man, it's going to be the Dragons on top of the whole hog, sticking them in the corner, not allowing them to go anywhere. And so it was the perfect setup from Fisher to continue to maximize the amount of kills they continue to get on the Ball State.
I mean, Forgotten swapping over to the Genji is just an answer to the mobility that you see out of the Ball State composition. And, they played it to a T now. They've got the blade on, probably waiting for Nano from Goose. Right now, you've got the Zenyatta Transcendence ready to go. So Transcendence versus Kitsune Rush should be the engagement into our next fight.
And we have a Zenyatta who's sitting out in the flank and is throwing out Discord orbs and pumping out massive amounts of damage with no care in the world whatsoever. Man, we at 15 HP to their name. Meteor Strikes on top of the Mega Pack to get their health back so they can continue this approach. Now Forgotten has drawn the blade. On top of that, the Nano Boost to give them so much extra damage. Keller continuing to pull their own weight as well. The kills coming through for Fisher, and his time is running out. Ball State, no one able to touch. Oh, Fisher is not messing around, Billy.
They are not messing around at all. Now, they did get punched in the mouth once they swapped to a highly mobile comp. So, will Fisher, kind of take that in their back pocket as they're sitting in spawn, thinking about what Ball State are going to come out with? Because, they were just 1.04 meters from taking us into the Foundry. So, while, they didn't get a full 3-point cap, because of the mobility of comps that are happening right now in the state of the game that it is, we want to see the mobility come through, but the highly mobile characters that do come out don't allow for a lot of point presence. So you can see team fights kind of swap on a dime, and you can see a Doomfist and a Tracer take on a full 5 and actually come out the victor on the side of it. I've seen it happen in the past week. So there are, plays and counter picks that are going to have to come through from Fisher and from Ball State on the fly. Looks like Ball State are kind of leaning away from necessarily the highly mobile comp. They do have a Lucio to speed them around, but they're coming out with this May look again. So you're looking to take care of Faded. You're looking to cordon them off from their healing, from their support, make them burn the cooldowns, and then burn the tank down out from Fisher College, and then move in to clean up the rest of the fight.
And we saw it work for them on Lijiang Tower. You got Faded into a corner, you separated them from the rest of the team. Even though they tried to pump everything they could into keeping a Roadhog alive, it just was not possible. And so if they can replicate that here, especially in the initial point of King's Row, it could work out well for them. Forgotten has taken a lot of damage, hit with a Javelin as well, but now we're going to see them enter into the turret form. That's going to be Manwee to try and stall that out using the Javelin spin as much as they can, and successfully on top of that as Forgotten goes down. Faded looking for an opportunity, but instead just get out of there, regroup with the team, and wait for an opening once more.
Mobility and cordoning off once again does get the job done. Now you're going to go back to spawn. It only took 30 seconds, so now you're going to see some changes come out from Fisher College. Forgotten going over to the Soldier, and Goose bringing out more burst healing in the Baptiste.
And we took a lot of damage, especially with the help of Neb and the Discord Orb. Regrouping around onto point. As we see Fisher rotating towards the statue. That is where Ball State has set themselves up. Forgotten is going to take the high ground position as the Soldier 76.
Oh.
Keller is just going to do Hanzo things. You throw out an arrow, hope and a dream, Billy, and you're going to get headshots just like that. Another kill comes forward. You see Kiriko on top of that statue. It's going to be activating the Storm Arrows and eliminating them as well. Ball State taking point A. Took a little bit of time to get there, but they got there.
Faded now bringing the Zarya, who we all know has taken a serious amount of nerfs. to their bubble, the timing of it and the duration of it. Spencer taking Forgotten down, so they're going to be able to actually push up here and hold the archway. You can see that Fisher were trying to get through, and ECAC Ghost has decided that violence is the order of the day, and Keller, going to try and do things. Oh man, they've got the Dragon Strike. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say you could possibly let loose with it now and then swap to a more mobile hero, but this is what the beauty of Pope Comps right now, Sam. This is the beauty of Pope Comps. You can pick pretty much whatever you want and get early entry frags.
It's exactly what Forgotten did too. And now Neb is just right-clicking like crazy, Billy. Give this support, and now they have nothing but red in their eyes. Popping the Transcendence to make sure they survive, and look how low. You're keeping an eye on Manwee. You don't let them go away. You get the exact position to your teammates, and Keller, boom, right then and there, done.
That is that's confidence, to say the least. It's just confidence, and I mean they know that they're playing on a different level, and Ball State are really going to have to think about how they're going to address the point here, especially with an early App Matrix out here. I mean that could be a one-shot kill.
It could be, and it possibly can be. Keller does get hit with the Javelin Spear, but that is the only thing that they have to worry about. I say that though, ECAC Ghost has popped the overclock. And so far, no headshots are going to be coming forward as Faded stands toe-to-toe, even though Zarya has been hit with those nerfs, unafraid of what this Orisa is bringing to the table. And with ECAC Ghost so low on their health, has to regroup. But they're running out of time. They're running out of meterage. Fisher College very close to ending this.
Double Support Ultimate's ready to go. They need to get onto the point now, less than 4 meters.
Some 4 meters to go. And now the Dragon Strike to secure the win for Fisher College once more. These grand finals are really leaning towards them, and they are ready to take home that title, Billy, as they are now sitting 2-0 here on Kings Row.
I tell you what, Keller and Forgotten, I mean, just absolutely cracked right now. I gotta give my guy Neb though some credit because the Zenyatta play. Zenyatta not necessarily known for the healing, maybe to get out of jail free card with the Transcendence once it's up. Denies the impacts of highly impactful ultimates like a Graviton Surge, or we're thinking Primal Rage. We're thinking Gravitic Flux. Those kind of plays right now, but using it to save yourself and the Zenyatta kick with the knockback right now, and just landing the volleys. I mean, Neb putting on quite a show here. DPS be damned. Support players rise up. Support players rise up.
Who needs? It's the age-old adage, right, Billy? You don't need healing if the entire enemy team is dead, is gone. And so that is the plan, I guess, of what Fisher is doing here. Now we get to turn our attention over to our next map type, which is going to be Escort. We already have an idea that Dorado is going to be banned, so that is completely off of the table. Looking forward, though, what does Ball State want to do in order to start turning things back around and make this reverse sweep happen?
I mean, don't go to Route 66 because that gives the Zenyatta lots of lines of sight, as well as Forgotten and Keller. So, I mean, you got to go somewhere where you think that you have the opportunity to kind of poke and play around corners, especially since you've gone to this Orisa comp, because we did not see a swap off of the Orisa. So it's going to come down to, being able to be mobile and get around, lines of sight. It's very... Junkertown, you might be able to get away with it. We did see some Spencer play on the Hanzo and kind of challenge Keller on that Hanzo and the sniper play. So it kind of comes down to pick your poison here. Make sure that you go somewhere that you can keep yourself up because you're already looking at a deficit. Now's the time to throw caution to the wind and go against the normal pick. A lot of teams have picked Route 66 though as the escort map here lately. I don't know. Roots. I mean, if we go to Circuit Royale, it kind of changes the tenor of the conversation right now because it kind of takes the Winston out of play pretty much. It takes the Roadhog definitely out of play. It almost forces you onto the Sigma comp with the double snipes behind it. Now, the problem with that is that Neb is very well versed in the ways of the Zenyatta and may just land a 5-ball volley upon your dome.
And we have confirmation of the map that we are going to, Billy. And it is indeed going to be Route 66. So this is where Ball State wants to make their stand against Fisher. A bold choice to be sure, especially with what we've been seeing out of Fisher. But I guess it comes back to the idea that they want to make sure that they're playing on a map that they feel the most comfortable on, where they can get the most impact out of.
Well, we'll just see how they're able to transverse the streets and roads of Utah. I always look at Big Earls to be kind of the starting point of the map, unless you go with a close hold, and that's going to require a Doomfist or a Roadhog. Orisa is just not mobile enough and doesn't have enough self-sustain to be able to hold close. So you're looking at, Big Earl's hold for a defense. Offensively, you can go out with a couple different looks. You can go out, see if you can get an early pick with a grapple off of a Widowmaker. The pharmacy combos, with the pharmacy or with Mercy getting a little bit of a buff in the recent balance change, might be able to give you a little bit more of a different look, better sight lines, lots of sky ceiling. I mean, the ceiling there in Route 66 is quite tall. Just got to be aware if Forgotten brings out the Widowmaker or Neb. Yeah. If they decide to find an aerial threat, we'll go in for it.
Yeah, got to make sure to watch your head, of course. And it looks like Fisher, they're hovering over some interesting choices. Faded on the Sigma, Forgotten being an Echo, and of course Neb. You can't. You don't want to go for anything different. The Zenyatta was working out so well, and you were playing a very, very scary one. But I mean, this defensive lineup that they have for Fisher, that Ball State is going to have to go into, is an interesting choice.
Well, I mean, Forgotten is kind of the answer for an anticipated pharmacy, because Echo wins the aerial battle easily, especially with focusing beam, and with a tether. You're going to have Goose on the Mercy here. So Faded playing something that I saw in China this past weekend, where you run close or you run on top of Big Girls and you just give the sustain there.
What? What is Neb doing? They're just chilling out of the back line, waiting inside of the tube. And they're actually making it work right now. It looks like their overconfidence has caught up to them, but the damage was done. They were able to, with the help of Forgotten, be able to take down a member of Ball State. It's just those little moments that you look at and it makes you want to laugh a little bit, Billy.
I mean, I laugh because Forgotten's actually getting the better of it. We'll see Neb be able to come back, but Spencer, yeah, here comes the mobility out from Ball State, and this is the standard comp right now. Yep, I mean, going into a Sigma, once the kid is gone, is absolutely out of the question. We'll see swaps coming through for Fisher right here. I expect Faded to come back in on the Roadhog. We'll see if that change actually comes through.
It looks like they want to stand firm. There we go. Okay.
There it is.
Back over to the Roadhog. Got a little worried there for a second, but Faded making the correct choice. The Sigma, they got the idea, quick recognition of that, and the quick switch to make sure that happens. Neb, however, has given up the ideation of wanting to make the Zenyatta happen here, has switched over to the Baptiste, respecting what the Doomfist is going to be bringing to the table, but it seems like even with the switches that Fisher has given themselves, Ball State is still standing strong, and they need to be standing strong here, Billy. This is championship point. Everything is on the table. For Ball State, they need to be operating at peak efficiency now.
Well, they've definitely got the ultimate economy in their favor right now. They do take point A relatively easily. And now it's about getting ECAC, Ghost, and Spencer into position for these concerted dives coming in from Manwy into the back line and seeing if they can finish up on the back of it. Forgotten over to the Cassidy. Magnetic Grenade will take Spencer out relatively quickly if they can get the magnetic stick onto them.
And I can only tell you how many times that magnetic grenade has ruined many of my ranked games. We're going to look towards the sky as Neb has popped the amplification matrix, looking for an opportunity to be able to use that. Manwy is going to make it difficult for them to get maximum value out of it, and we see sometimes it's all just about wasting as much time of it as you possibly can. Manwy got stuck with the magnetic grenade, is going to survive through it with the healing that is available to them, and Spencer with a nice pulse bomb kill onto Forgotten. Now it's up in the air to try and get Neb off of this high ground position that they are so firmly rooted in. Unsuccessful for the moment, but that is the attempts that could be happening once more. Faded is going to use their whole hog, try to take as much away from this Kitsune rush as they can, and now Forgotten inside of their Deadeye wasn't able to find anything, zone them out, and now it just comes down, Billy, to pure raw aim from this cowboy.
I mean, that was because Raven Strider put out a magnificent protection Suzu on top of everybody and denied the ultimate clearing there, but man, Manwy, that's the power block right there. Power block right now, putting yourself into the tech combo will allow you to stay alive through a lot of damage coming through. And I'm looking right now, how do they break this hold here from Faded and getting, Neb off the high ground?
Neb went from high ground to slightly less high ground, but is still just as deadly and immediately pops the amplification matrix once they get it. It is going to be Spencer using that pulse bomb to great effect once more, but Ball State knowing they're really to capitalize on it, that much more difficult.
Well, I mean, we're seeing kind of a weird composition coming out here with the Soldier 76. Now, you're looking for spot healing. You know, the biotic field will keep you up through some of these fights. And looking at the work getting done right now, I mean, yeah, the Ball State right now with the highly mobile composition, Faded kind of getting zoned out of any kind of work being done. This is where you see the Doomfist and the Tracer go in. Ravenstride should be able to flit in with a swift step if they see their teammates in trouble. Sound Barrier is going to be coming up here for Ball State. That's going to provide them so much sustain into the last meters here in Point B.
You can't see Ghost now taking the high ground that we saw Neb so very fond of. With an opening pick from Spencer, Ball State being able to get in and secure this point is getting more and more likely. Manweed, dangerously low on the HP, has to pop the Meteor Strike to make sure that they survive, is going to go right back into it. The shields that come through, and now the Immortality Field expended from Neb to make sure that Faded survives, but with the overclock from You Can't See Ghost, it is putting in the overtime right now to get rid of the members of Fisher College that are still contesting this point. Geller now on the Tracer, tried valiantly, tried to put in the work. It just wasn't going to happen. Ball State now making it to Point B, and a team that has found their confidence.
Well, Goose going over to the Zenyatta brings the Discord Orb once again to bear, so now the Doomfist is going to be under some serious duress. It's going to be up to Raven and Yakester to be able to really keep them up once these dives come through. Tac Visor online, Forgotten lifts a little flick and takes the Kiriko out.
I'm sure Ravenstride thought they were perfectly safe. Oh my word, You Can't See Ghost hanging out next to the payload, pushing it, not a care in the world, and Faded reminding them that they are the Roadhog who can land the nastiest of hooks. And another one too on top of that. Man, unexpected, down they go. Now Fisher gets to hold this payload for the first time in a very long time.
Well, I mean, they finally set their feet, and I mean, they're coming up on 4 ultimates right now into this fight. And I mean, for Ball State, it's going to take, you know, the coordination of these dives coming through from Manweed and Spencer into these fights, and going into an amp matrix. Now, you just kite back and hold your time.
Exactly. Wait and see. Wait for it to go away. Don't tempt fate, especially when Neb is on the other side of that window. The only thing that you were asking for is destruction. Yakester is going to go right into the back line, take out Gusto now. No more worries of a pesky Discord Orb. Up into the sky, we see Manweed using the Meteor Strike, seeing for a potential opportunity to be able to land on top of the Tracer, and they find Keller at the right place, the right time, turning their attention. They picked up the Mega Pack 2 on top of that. Health is back up to full before they re-engage onto Manweed, but the massive amounts of damage that come through on this Roadhog was just too much, and the Neb coordination puts him in the ground.
Nope, You Can't See Ghost, kind of equalizing it out. There's still cart push going on here, and we're looking for it. Beautiful hook once again coming in from Faded. Nice protection, Susan, to keep him up. You Can't Ghost can't deny the Helix rocket coming in.
Faded to these hooks are a dream made in heaven. Now we're going to see Yakester pop the beat, see if they're going to be able to be aggressive off of that. But it's going to be so much more difficult when Faded has just been a hook god.
Well, the only difference that I would see right now is maybe Goose going over to the Kiriko and maybe pulling out a Kitsune Rush here for them to be able to go through and give more value to the Faded on this Roadhog. But I mean, as far as, you know, the frags and the hook accuracy coming through, I mean, we're probably looking at what, 40% hook accuracy coming out of Faded. Some of them you would think it would get disconnected by going around a corner, but nah, they're just fine. They're vibing, they're moisturized and living their best life right now.
Oh, and they're just gonna do it again. You thought that was gonna break. No, no, no. You Can't See Ghosts. This overclock is gonna have to find some work. At the very least, it's gonna take down the Immortality Field, but you're not gonna find too much after that, because Neb has popped the Amplification Matrix, and Forgotten, winning out in the Tracer duel against Spencer, is going to live to fight another day on this Soldier 76. Now it's time to turn our attention back over to the payload. Time is ticking away, and another hook comes in. As Faded time after time, hook after hook, is proving that this Roadhog is the pick for Fisher College, and they are making it work.
I mean, Roadhog might be a little bit disfavored here coming through with this balance patch coming through on Thursday, but right now we're playing on it without that going on, and now the Tac Visor, the Helix Rocket combo going through. This is going to be done and dusted. This is not going to be full 3 points.
Gonna have to be scared of what is capable, but Ball States are actually gonna be making picks in their favor. Faded was low on health, the breather's still on cooldown, the hook back up, but nothing is going to be found on the other end of it. Fisher College undeterred by the kills that came through. Now it's all just about waiting for reinforcements. Pulse bomb does happen, but Goose using their transcendence to make sure the team is safe, alive. Spencer trying to find an opening, an opportunity. Is going to pump pulse pistol rounds into this giant Roadhog. But this tank is a tank indeed. And now with the whole hog that they have available to them, watch out whoever is in their line of sight. It is nothing but death. It is nothing but destruction and chaos. Overtime has run out. Now Fisher College, in order to win this championship, these grand finals, Billy, all they have to do, 41.21 meters.
I mean, inside of the hangout is no small feat, especially when we saw the adaptability come out from Fisher College. I mean, they got kind of rolled on point A, and then we saw Neb kind of turn the tenor of the entire map on its hinge by going on top of Hotel, being able to stand up there and pump the resources into both Faded and into Keller, and Goose doing Goose things on their own on the side. I mean, it was just a calamity there for Ball State. They just weren't able to find the frags and take the resources and take the sustain away from Fisher College. Once they were able to challenge that high ground, once they were able to displace Neb, that's when their fortunes really started changing. So what are we going to be looking here from Ball State? Ball State definitely need to have something in their back line to keep them alive. And I mean, they're coming out with standard composition right now. It's going to come down to You Can't See Ghost and Spencer getting the frags on the back of what, man, we are dealing out with these engages going into the back line of Fisher College.
Once again, the coordination needs to be there for Ball State to make sure that you can get the problem targets, especially if you're able to go after the high value Neb or Goose, getting rid of the support line, getting rid of the Kiriko. Faded, obviously this Roadhog, they're the raid boss who's able to take so much damage and take your attention away from the real juicy targets that you need to go after. And Ball State, they have that. They can do it. We just need to be seeing it here, especially when everything is on the line for them.
I mean, the big reason right now that Hog is so viable is because of Protection Suzu, and you can't run the Ana against a Roadhog now because you can cleanse the anti so quickly.
And it just, you're able to keep this Roadhog alive for so long. They're able to stay in for so long. Nothing can prevent them from being able to use their healing. And then on top of that, you have Forgotten, who's just landing body shots like that. Thankfully, though, you have Spencer in the backline getting rid of the nuisance that has been this Widowmaker. You're gonna have to watch out Keller fully charged railgun shots, and if they're as deadly on the Sojourn as they were the Hanzo, it is going to be a very scary time for Ball State. Too, on top of that, Goose is putting in the work, putting in the effort in this Kiriko. But it's gonna be flipped. The script has been flipped on them as Raven Strider proves that they have just a better kunai on them.
Well, healer, heal thyself. Healer, frag yourself. You know, they're taking a little bit of a page out of Neb and Goose's book, saying, you know what, you guys can make some kills, so can we. And they have put paid to that. Now it's about, man, we getting out, using that get out of jail card. And you know what? It takes it off the mat. It takes it off the board right now. So Fisher can actually get a lot more aggressive here, knowing that, man, we can't get away from a fragging potential immediately.
Poor Yixer seems to be the initial target every single time. When anything goes wrong, they go down. And so that starts to become problematic for them. But you have Neb, who's just roaming all over the field. You still have Spencer alive. They can try and stall this out for as long as they can. You're gonna see them pop the recall. They only have 85 HP to their name, and once they get stuck in the corner, Forgotten is going to execute.
438 as we now go through the streets of Utah here, looking for a high ground hold here coming out of Ball State. And there you see it. Nice bit of work coming out from You Can't See Ghost, but they just did not find the accuracy with the headshot. So Pulse Bomb comes out, absorbed. That's going to be a great empowered punch once Manwe decides to let loose with it.
Seems like they're waiting for the perfect opportunity in going in on top of the overclock. They're gonna find one target as Neb goes down, make that a second one to Keller. And that's what we needed from You Can't See Ghost. That's exactly what Ball State needed to be able to find their sort of momentum that they need, but you're gonna have to watch out as Goose, even with the rest of Fisher College out of there, is gonna pop the Kitsune Rush. It seems like it's good enough to at least force back Ball State and give some space to Fisher.
I mean, that's smart disengage coming out of Ball State, though. They just completely deny any kind of ultimate charge and ultimate gain through the usage of it, and it completely takes the faded Super Roadhog off the table.
But this Super Roadhog put on the cape, it walked right inside of that room and showed Manwe the business end of what this Roadhog is capable of. Now Spencer looking for more picks, more targets. They've already taken out Goose. Now it's time to get onto the high ground, put pressure onto Neb, prevent them from doing anything. And it looks like they're going to be working out, but a last second heal, and they dodge the hook on top of that. And they're going to camp on top of the Mega Pack, but it seems like Spencer might be able to win out against Neb with the amount of damage that Faded took as well, even in the whole hog. Not going to be possible, but we got to give it to Neb, who is staying alive against all odds. You cannot kill this support. It took so long to make that happen.
Well, I mean, the fight has turned in Ball State's favor, though. Pulse Bomb goes out, gets stuck on the wall, no joy there. So now it's all about reclaiming the high ground. And you can't see Ghost. Oh my gosh. I mean, has really come alive here with the accuracy with the railgun. Manwe going down to about 20 health there. Lots of ultimate charge, so now you're looking, halfway towards Kitsune Rush, halfway towards Beat. These are the two ultimates that are going to keep Ball State in this series.
And in this series is exactly what we want to see from this team. It just gets hard, though, with Yexer going down once again, being the first blood here. And now you can't see Ghost hit inside of their overclock using the pulse bomb. Forgotten just zips right in, zips right out. Payload gets to continue to move forward. Ball State still has the opportunity to contest. It's going to have to be quick.
I mean, the rollout from Manwe should be able to get it back there. The speed from Yexter should be able to get them there. And, I'm looking for Spencer. Well, Spencer's going over to the Soldier 76 now, so they're going to make their stand inside Foundry or inside the hangout here with the Soldier. So a little bit extra spot healing available to the team. I mean, it's on a cooldown, about 12-second cooldown, so you're going to have that. Also, the burst damage from the Helix Rocket is going to have to give Forgotten a little bit of pause for consideration.
This is a scary moment. Fisher College does have two high-value support ultimates that they can work with, especially in the Kitsune Rush. Ball State looking at their own Kitsune Rush as Raven Strider does get it, but with 3 minutes that Fisher has to work with, and Forgotten just going right deep into the back line, taking out Spencer, is going to take away a lot of the pressure that Fisher has to deal with. And then you have on top of that Fade chilling out in the high ground. The payload doesn't have to go very far with the deaths coming in, the kill feed lighting up in favor of Fisher. Billy, I think it's safe to call this in favor. We're looking at our new grand champions here in ECAC. Spencer is going to delay it, hit the recall, and man, we're not able to make it in time. Indeed so, Fisher College, your ECAC grand champions.
I mean, that's a serious amount of work coming out from Fisher. Very comprehensive from them. They knew what their win condition was. They had the confidence coming in, Sam, and they just absolutely took it to Ball State. The early season results be damned. They're just done with it. They were done with it in that moment, and Fisher College, congratulations to you. Just an absolutely perfect grand final. Really, Ball State looked just like they just didn't have the coordination to deal with such a synergistic group from the outset.
A beautiful series, a 3-0 series from Fisher. They really were determined tonight to take home that title and not have a repeat of the last rematch that we saw between these two teams. They wanted to take this grand finals, and they wanted to take it in a very convincing fashion, and that's exactly what they did. But we are going to take a small break to get things set up for an interview, so don't go anywhere.
Make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids, that's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out to finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch ahead. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 Wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 Wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I got
Fisher College just showed us how to win a grand finals, and we were fortunate enough to get one of the members of this fantastic Overwatch 2 team in the form of Neb. And I mean, Neb, we got to talk about this because you guys just played an incredible game of Overwatch 2. How is the team feeling being the grand champions now?
You know, we all feel great. It's a good way to end the semester with the ECAC championship under our belt. You know, a nice trophy on the desk.
Absolutely. And congratulations. It was just so much fun to be able to watch it. So much fun to see how you guys were able to make so many different compositions work.
Yeah, I mean, we played to have fun, you know. We knew we didn't have to take it too serious, not to sound like ego-y, but we just played fun, and as long as we didn't stagger, we'd win off of mechanics.
Yeah, that was definitely apparent because I had a chance to watch you guys being in chat for Run It Back, and we were kind of talking about myself and Big Hungry Phil were talking about you while we were doing the Pacific Showdown, and you're one of our favorite support players actually in the North American region right now. Tell us, what did you guys find as your win condition for the majority of that? You say mechanics is good, but they try to run what is becoming almost the meta composition right now with the Doomfist and the Tracer going in, using the Seismic Slam to get in the back line and then having the Tracer get the assassination. So what did you guys decide once Ball State brought that to bear on you? What was your counter to that?
They just kept going on Keller, so we served him on a silver platter while we killed the rest of their team. So he wasn't having a great time, but he said as long as the team wins.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was comprehensive.
And listen, Ned, by the way, one of my favorite moments of this entire series is just watching you hiding out inside a tube of Zenyatta at the beginning of Route 66. That was hilarious.
No, I was just having fun. I was seeing if they would see me, because a lot of the times I just walk right past someone and they wouldn't hear me because Zen has no footsteps. So I was wondering how long it would take them to notice me, but then the Doomfist found me.
The troll is real. The troll is real. I mean, it's absolutely real. And I mean, congratulations on you guys getting your hardware for the desk here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna look great. We got a couple trophies this semester already, so we're trying to beat the Valorant team in the amount of trophies we can get.
Ooh.
And they got a Red Bull trophy and they got some other stuff, but we're getting our work done there.
Well, after how you guys played tonight, the Valorant team better be watching out because you're going to be catching up to them very soon. So to close things out, Neb, any shout-outs that you want to give to anybody or any orgs out there in particular?
Shout out my family. They're always watching. My mom's my #1 supporter. And shout out Keller. I think he's really improved this season, and he's my vote for MVP for the ECAC season. But shout out my team in general. They're my rock.
Did you see the trophy go behind?
What is the size of that trophy?
Oh
my goodness!
That was the CECC trophy for East Region.
Wow. Just
casually.
Just
casually.
Okay.
Well, good.
All right. Well, Neb, thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations once more to you and your team at Fisher College for a fantastic season. I know Billy and I are looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to be doing in ECAC and the rest of Overwatch 2.
Have a good night, guys.
Absolutely. And that's going to be it from us for tonight, but we still do have some Rocket League action upcoming. Chef Billy, though, any final words before we hop off?
I mean, it is the holiday season, everybody. Please stay safe. Make sure you check in on your loved ones. Make sure that you guys enjoy the time with your family. Make sure that we're enjoying all the action going on here on Esports U and the ECAC and all the other competitions that Esport U is going through. And you know what, Sam, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, my friend.
Same to you, Billy. Same to you. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see all of you on the next broadcast.
And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is And I promise I'm trying to before you count me out, homie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ECAC Finals. Bepic and Chixa on the call. It's the final series of the entire ECAC season. Fisher versus Ball State University. Chixa, before we get into any of that, how you doing?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good. I am officially leaving my college student status. I've graduated this week, but it's nice to see a college game in my last week as well with two phenomenal undefeated teams. I mean, what better Rocket League could we get?
Right, I mean, this is how you want to be sent off. Your collegiate career ends with probably, hopefully, a phenomenal collegiate matchup. I mean, Fisher, both these teams have been dominant all year in the ECAC, but Fisher has been dominant all across the collegiate landscape. I mean, first place in the regular season in CRL East, and then in the playoffs they got second, losing only to Northwood, which is not a team that you really hang your head losing to. And then BSU's got to come in here against them and beat them in a best of 7. That's next to impossible.
Yeah, not many people have been able to beat Fisher to begin with, other than possibly Northwood. So it's always a task that is difficult at hand. I mean, when we talk about Fisher, you have Sosa, you have Kinsey, you have Money, you have 3 different collegiate players on, you know, professional teams that are constantly playing at the level that, you know, you could consider in the top, 0.001% of Rocket League players. They are near that surface, and they have done a wonderful job all season long balancing both their collegiate as well as their professional Rocket League careers.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all 3 of those players got RLCS points this season. Like, one of them maybe didn't make it, but, like, they were that close every single regional. So, Wolva, Zath, and Daffy have a huge task ahead of them. Beat Fisher College in 4 games out of 7. Next to impossible. We'll see what they can do. Ball State has a legacy of winning in esports, and Fisher's kind of new to that type of pedigree, Chixa, but BSU's been there, done that as a school, though this is one of their hardest challenges yet.
I mean, if you want to talk about schools, Fisher has won almost every ECAC championship thus far, except, I believe, for League of Legends. So if you're talking about a school in general that has dominated this season in ECAC, Fisher has come to the table as the new kids in town, and they are now the new standard to beat as well.
They are certainly on the fast track to becoming a household name in collegiate esports, but they're playing a lot of defense. I mean, the first minute has come and gone here, and they've been stuck on their own end, though this is a great breakout play. Sosa, beautiful redirection, good save by Zath, and actually will find a second one. So Fisher looked lethal in that counterattack, but the defense for now holding for Ball State.
Yeah, don't underestimate the underdogs of Ball State. They also have an undefeated record this season. They know how to play really good Rocket League, and when it comes to the top of the collegiate sphere, if you're getting rid of, you know, some of those Rocket League professionals, they have been there and done that before. You know, pay attention to how they translate across the field. Understand that they know they're outbeat mechanically. I mean, no one's going to outbeat Money, Sosa, and Kinsey in the air and double flip resets and challenges and whatever they manage to do. But if they work together as a team, get those fundamentals down, especially defensively, they're going to hold on, and they've done so thus far in these first 2 minutes.
It's required some heroics, though, and I don't know how sustainable those kinds of diving saves are. You got to play offense in tandem, and so far they've done a decent job of it, but they have not had the level of lethality that Fisher has shown us thus far, so that'll have to change for BSU, but they are surviving for the time being, though. It's Money again, looking to double. Wova makes the save on that back wall, gets it around Kinsa, so no immediate rebound play for Fisher. But we're playing a lot on this orange back line. They are stuck right now, spread apart. That shot from Kinsa just off Sosa inches away from scoring, and somehow 0 still on the board.
So much pressure mounting for Fisher. This is their 9th shot halfway through this game. You know that 10th one may just fall through, and it indeed does. Money finds a beautiful shot off the rebound of Sosa's. to just put that one through, and Zath just not ready in net to defend that one more time.
Now, 12 boost and a car that was spinning out there on the goal line. You're not going to save a shot for money in that kind of position. But a chance to get it back. Zath will flick hard to the back wall. Kinta, though, right there to deal with it and finds money down the field. The Wilva intercepts. That is an immediate equalizer. Ball State off kickoff. Get us back level.
What a response right off kickoff, winning it, making a very unexpected Fisher College unsure what to do. Not a great touch off the backboard, no follow-up touch off that, and Wova, you're right, intercepts that beautifully. It is A to Z play from Ball State right after for the answer, and now it's back to 1-1. We're in similar territory again, and we'll see which team fights back for their lead, and it'll be Fisher with the demo on the goal line to open that play up.
That's just mean. Double demo leaves Daffy hung out to dry, and then Sosa has the gall to fake the last man for Ball State. I mean, they lose their two teammates, and you add insult to injury with that kind of play. Fisher's not holding back right now in game one. They've thrown everything at the Ball State goal line. That's just another in a long line of great chances. This one, though, does find the back.
Keep in mind as well, this series is a best of 7. Originally a best of 9, but both teams agreeing that 7 is plenty if they get to it. So best of 7 territory. The first game, always nice to get that chip, to get that ready stance for the rest of the series. But there's also time in these best of 7s to come back in the series if need be. So if Ball State keeps this game close within 1, I'd consider that a victory against any Fisher team. If you're managing to keep it close, then you might just be able to push through with a more competent game, with a more, mistake-free game later in the series.
Certainly, I mean, several times now, Ball State's been caught on their back line, creeping forward, not expecting Fisher to be right there, prepared to put a shot right back on target. Here's another instance where both Daffy and Wova had moved up to the midfield line, didn't expect Kinsa to be right there, prepared to launch one towards net. And Kinsa didn't exactly launch it, it was a short roller, but regardless, Ball State almost got caught out once again. This time, Zath's back to the play, but Daffy will be right there, though Zath can't do much because they started with their back to that play, and Money is essentially a free shot on target.
Risky play, though. All 3 players on the side of Fisher commit to that play. The first 2, Sosa and Money, opening the gates for Kinsey to finish that play overall. It's, 3 men up, and they make the most of their opportunity. Fisher likes to bring the aggression to the table. In fact, 14 total shots for Fisher this game, and I'm not surprised if we'll see 1 or 2 more before this game clock hits 0. It's an aggressive game, as always, for Fisher, and Ball State, they did pretty well with the saving. They had some pressure, some aggression themselves, but just not to the caliber of Fisher in game 1.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not worried about Ball State's offense. It's their defense that concerns me, because Fisher is going to upgrade on both sides of the ball, and that means offense as well as defense, and their offense looked pretty darn good in that first game. They didn't quite connect several times. I mean, yes, 14 shots on target, that's a large chunk, but a lot of them were kind of weak, and they could have been better. And if you're saying that Fisher could have been better, then they're going to be better in future games. So games 2 and 3 and beyond, honestly, I expect them to be hitting the majority of their shots with high pace and deadly accuracy. So Ball State, they can't be making mistakes on their backline like they were in that first game. They kept it close thanks to some great work on their goal line, but they are going to have to make sure that their rotations are perfect here going forward.
Absolutely. I think as well, they can't allow 14 shots to happen, nonetheless, if they're weak or strong. I want to see them challenging in the midfield, paying more attention to the midfield so they can extend those plays when they are on the offensive side of the field, and they can just deflect that ball early. Yeah. If you let a ball go off your backboard, go off the corner, get any sort of pass towards that quarter field line, chances are Fisher is going to find a way to get it in. They need to stop the ball before it becomes a real threat on the defensive end. Since last second saves, they could get 7 of 14, which is pretty good, but not good enough against Fisher.
No, certainly not. 50%, it's good about everywhere except when it comes to save percentage against a team that puts shots on target. And here we go again. Game 2. Fisher's already bumping their demo wing, but Daffy's intercepting all the way from downtown, the opening goal for BSU.
You know, that demo that we didn't think would be so important upfield ends up being important because Fisher again overcommits all 3 players upfield, and because of it, there's nobody back to defend that 50. Great job early on for Ball State to find one, but they need to play careful now because we said earlier, mistakes cannot happen in this series for them.
All right, Zath doesn't quite catch it clean. Then I don't know if they got bumped off of that or expected an immediate challenge that didn't come through, but either way, Ball State was not comfortable. They're off kickoff, and they give up a very important lead. If they start off game 2 with the lead, get momentum on their side, they're in a great spot, but a nice bumping play set up Wova for a chance, though Fisher quick to get back to their goal line, make sure that opportunity isn't too much of a dangerous one, and Ball State immediately having to retreat off of that clear money in the air, using that back hole, the tool to pass to Kinsey, but Wova, big save.
Great work by Wova, and Daffy, another important 50 in the midfield to get some pressure off. Money over 1, Kinsey with him. They're maybe not sharing that ball. Greedy little ones players maybe wanting to make the play all on themselves, but it's okay. I know it's all in good spirits as long as Ball State doesn't find the transition play into the back of the net, but they manage fine. Kinsey's over 1, Money to grab over the corner. Here's a passing play. Kinsey just not enough boost to find the goal.
All right, now we can see a big counterattack here. 2 players in the midfield, but the pass doesn't really connect. Zath has enough boost and speed to get back to the ball to keep it in possession for BSU, but could have been a lot more dangerous had they used the full efforts of their 2 teammates. Though Wova will still put a shot on. That's great to add to the stat lines of BSU, but it's an easy save for one of the 2 defenders Fisher have in net. Though chaos leads to an opportunity for Zath that gets in the way of, and Fisher dangerously close to conceding there.
I'm worried Fisher isn't communicating as well. We've seen a lot of double commits. I mean, a lot. Could just be a little sloppy, overconfident play. Could just be communication-wise. But Ball State has had some opportunities because of these double commits and these problems we see as Fisher, does mess up a little bit. But with time, it's been still an even scoreline. Both teams have been able to defend for now these passes, and they need to be careful because as Fisher tries to set up plays offensively in that Ball State half, they'll manage to connect if they can just keep defending as they are and transitioning into their own offensive opportunities. They've found some shots, and they've gotten close to being on target.
That's a fact. That one, a shot from Zath, but it's answered with a clear and an immediate pass out of defense as Zath takes out Sosa, going to stunt the offensive Fisher temporarily, and I believe securing that corner boost. So Zath behind the ball puts it way into Fisher territory, trying to use that corner to set up some offense, but Kinsey right there. Power of friendship, the Fisher defense using to make sure BSU can't do too much damage in that blue end. And again, in the same corner, Sosa going to get out, but Money beaten by Daffy, who just kind of hung around in the area. Sosa couldn't do enough, and Daffy was there to swoop in and score.
It's another Daffy challenge that just ends up resulting in the goal. Remember, their first goal that they scored, similar. Daffy beating out Sosa in a 50-50. Those challenges I mentioned earlier, that's what I wanted to see out of them in that midfield area. It stunts the offensive pressure so much of Fisher if they're able to find a challenge early. This challenge, though, comes way too late. The ball still manages to get over Zath, and then the follow-up is there for Kinsey.
Again, it's off kickoff. When BSU isn't quite set defensively, that Fisher's able to use their mechanics and their speed to really hit hard, and they see that second goal of Ball State and answer with one of their own with 100 seconds left. And Ball State need to get in front of this one again. They're doing a great job of gaining these leads. It's just the holding onto these leads that they're struggling just a little bit.
Struggling is what Ball State did all of last game. this game, though, looking a lot better. Good opportunity there, and it is onto the defense for Ball State. Dangerous ball put in midfield. It's done so again, but nobody there for Fisher to collect just yet. Sosa taking his time. Zaff, an early challenge, will manage to find it, and a piece on the way down. If only that one had more power. It may have just caught Money more off guard here, though. Phenomenal pass, and Zaff is able, and Daffy's able, everyone is able to find a save on the side of Ball State. I thought that was going in for Fisher, but it's denied, and the transition now is what both teams are looking towards, one end of the field to the other, but nobody able to find contact to put that in the back of the net just yet.
A game of counterattacks at the moment. We saw about 4 back and forths there in the span of 15 seconds, but the defense is holding strong for the time being, and that is great news for BSU because Fisher has not stopped pressing, even in awkward spots. Saves being found, clears being found, but the latter hasn't been the case in about 15-20 seconds now, and that needs to change lest we see overtime or a Fisher win. Though open net, no. Sosa closes the gap, gets us to the final 10, and again, a Fisher College counterattack that is saved. That time it was Wova that got the block. Zaff's been taken out, so BSU playing for OT at the moment. It looks like Sosa will be forced to keep it up. Kinsa's there. They'll beat Wova off the sidewall. Any teammates center? Yes, but the pass a little low. It does touch the ground. We get OT.
Whew. I mean, it was a close game in game 1. No! Kickoff! Kickoff back in again. Why? Why? Why?
I don't have any answers. Kickoffs are the thorn in the side right now for BSU, and it just lost them game 2. I can't believe that, Chicksa. As good a game as Ball State just played, and it's the kickoffs that end up killing them time and time again.
All 3 goals scored off kickoff. Every single one of them. I mean, why? No. No. I'm disappointed. Honestly, very disappointed by Ball State. Since they rose to the occasion for every other second in that game, except the couple right off kickoffs. They did so well generating offense, challenging early. I mean, let's talk about Daffy again, getting 2 challenges that result in goals, just catching Fisher College off guard. But instead, the Achilles heel of Ball State ends up being those 3 kickoff goals, and those are the only goals, again, that Fisher gets all game.
BSU's like a wind-up car. When they're wound up completely and they're going at top speed, they look great. But when they're in the early stages of it, when you have to wind them up, like on kickoff, they don't have full boost tanks, moving at full Mach speed, trying to get back to their goal line, that's when they look the weakest. Their goal line defense, outside of kickoffs, is phenomenal. They're making some incredible saves on some really difficult-to-block Fisher College chances, but when it comes to kickoffs, they're getting burned. So that has to change if they're going to win games. That's obvious. But if you're Fisher right now, it feels like they should be beating BSU by a lot more than they currently are. I don't know. You talked about it a little bit. If it's overconfidence, maybe that's where the mistakes are coming from. But they're putting up let's see, 14 in game 1, 11 shots in game 2, and they've only scored 6 goals. That's 25% shooting, which is a little below the average that I think Fisher might hold themselves to.
Yeah, I mentioned it, some miscommunication errors, I think, really resulting in the main Fisher College problem. How many times did we see 2 players fighting over 1 ball? And I say not both going by accident. They were kind of fighting over who. It's like, me, I want it. Give me the opportunity. Me, I want it. Kind of. That's what I pictured in my head as the cars like fought over it together. But it's those things that can make or break a team if they aren't communicated properly. And here's all 3 of them in the same place, same time. And unfortunately, Ball State just doesn't manage the transition well enough when there's nobody back. Look at those 3 cars on either side, and it's a poor transition for Ball State, and Fisher will take advantage on the transition back.
They're like a dog when they hear the word walk, like when they've been trained to know what walks are, and then you say walk. They get so excited they start running around and get way too overzealous, and in Rocket League terms, overcommit, but they have answered back. They'll use what's normally their Achilles heel, the kickoffs, against Fisher College and score one immediately off the face-off.
It's a really, really well-placed ball by Zach. Top right corner, shooting that from the right side as well. So just finding the way to defend that ball, I mean, you'd have to predict it so quickly that even Fisher doesn't manage to save that one. So just great counterattack, answer right off kickoff again for Ball State, and now we find ourselves tied, like we found ourselves for quite some time in the last game.
There is a reason why Ball State was a top seed in this tournament, why they haven't technically lost the series that they've played all season long, their one loss being a forfeit. But there's a reason why Fisher is Fisher, and that play right there is the epitome of it. All three members of Fisher College collapsing in the orange boxes. Fake, slow challenge Chicksaw. Oh my.
Oh my is right. The amount of fundamentals that Fisher breaks in order to make that play possible, with committing all three players, like you said, in the orange box. You know, that little box right in the front. All three of them are there. Absolutely error 404, no spacing to be found, but yet they still manage to get that ball in the back of the net. I mean, Fisher takes risks, and 90% of the time they are rewarded.
They just play with a confidence that you would think would belong to three pro players, so it makes sense that Fisher plays the way they do and gets away with the things that they do. But we're at the halfway point of Game 3 here, and BSU was not out of this. That's a good chance. A back wall pass connecting in the infield. The shot is saved, yes, and Fisher immediately translates that save into a clear, but BSU is penetrating the Fisher College back line, and they've gotten close a couple of times to answering once again and getting us level at 2.
Guy fly high in. Sosa as well as Money trying to pre-jump a lot of these challenges on the side of Ball State. It'll be tons of bumping and aggression for both sides, but Kinsey able to get it off the backboard. Wova, great touch to get it at least a little bit away. This one popped out to midfield, but extended upfield for Ball State. They just can't find that drop-down pass midfield in the transition. Kinsey almost finding a touch, but instead Money collecting, taking his time over one underneath, another over the last. Money 1-on-3s, and he finds that cha-ching, and that results in a goal.
That ball fell to a Money that had a full boost tank. All 100 tick marks in the boost meter were there, and space to work with. There was no one within several feet of their octane, and that's the kind of damage Money can do with boost, time, and ball. And now 3-1, BSU in a much harder spot than they previously were, having to come back now from a multi-goal deficit in the final 90. And with how little their offense has had in terms of sustained pressure, I'm concerned for their chances here, Chicksa. They need to find clears, they need to find dangerous chances, and they need to find a fairly large amount of them soon.
Yeah, I think Ball State has been especially quiet this game. It's a confidence that just is hard to come back when plays like that could be made so easily. Kinsey over one, over another, over the third. He 1v3s as well. And that's what I talked about earlier. The mechanics. Everyone knew coming into this on the side of Fisher, the mechanics were just going to be better. You can't out-mechanic them. You just need to find really good challenges early. And the challenges from Ball State have been quite sloppy. They just haven't been quick enough. They haven't been deadly enough. You either need to bump the car or the ball. Yep. And they haven't found a piece of either. Now overcommitting to desperation, they may just get counterattacked again, but they need to be careful. With 30 seconds left, this game may all just be done, and 3-0 we may be going into game number 4 with for Fisher. It's looking to be a sweep if Fisher continues their dominance.
This was the first game where Ball State wasn't able to find those moments where Fisher College looked human and then plunged their weapon of choice into the weak spots. This Fisher College made mistakes, yes, Ball State couldn't make the most of them. And then on the other end, Fisher rebounded from those mistakes almost instantaneously and then put together plays like that, or the solo plays that Money and Kinsey used to score the third and fourth Fisher College goal. It's an unbelievable performance here in Game 4. Fisher looking like champions here in Game 3, and it has not been close.
10 seconds. I think this one's definitely all but done. Maybe one more style goal for either side of the field. A confidence goal, maybe, but that, the ball will indeed touch the ground. Fisher takes Game 3. As I mentioned earlier, they are knocking on match point in this best of 7, and I think even if this was a best of 9, it probably would have went in a similar fashion. Fisher College playing on all cylinders right now. Not really a mistake to be found this game, just some risks that turned out into rewards, and now Ball State wondering what are they going to do in game number 4 to make up that difference.
Their goal line defense wasn't nearly as stellar as it was in games 1 and 2, and you saw the difference. They could not keep up with Fisher, who outpossessed them. They didn't outshoot them by a significant margin, but so many bumps and demos and half clears that BSU would get that Fisher would immediately just put back into the corner or into a solo play or anything that had the offense label slapped on it. Fisher, well, they weren't always shooting, but that doesn't matter in this kind of series. Their control was something that BSU couldn't do much about. There were counterattacks, yes, but Fisher were able to get back and defend against those counterattacks with relative ease. So, I mean, BSU's in the hardest spot possible in competitive Rocket League. Reverse sweep in a best of 7, and it's against Fisher College, who are arguably one of the best teams in North America in the collegiate scene, Chicksa. So, BSU, I don't know if they have to change things or just play better. You got any suggestions for them?
You know, honestly, you're right. It's more just playing mistake-free. I wouldn't necessarily say changing things, especially right now. It's going to be almost impossible to adapt your play style to exactly work. Just play you and play it 110%. What's killed them has been those mistakes, either in front of the net, off kickoff, whatever it is. They just have made mistakes, and every time Fisher is able to penalize on them. So play a mistake-free game, full 5 minutes of Rocket League, without doing a single thing wrong. Totally possible, right? 1,000%.
I'm sure it's been done before, maybe. I don't know, but perfection it does feel like right now is what it's going to take for BSU to make up for the mechanics difference and the speed difference. And hey, passing plays, definitely an option. Sidewall to infield in the blink of an eye, perfectly executed, and BSU lead.
It's not fancy either. It's not flashy. It's fundamentals. It's basic Rocket League. It's a great pass, and that's all they need to do. I mean, do that another 5 times, and make sure you do it all to perfection that way. Ooh. Ooh. What a way to answer back, and ooh, that one as well.
Sosa did it to him there on the back wall, and of course it's off kickoff. I mean, I wish I had been keeping track throughout this series on my notepad of how many times Ball State would find a lead or just score, and then immediately following the kickoff, Fisher College answers back within 5-10 seconds. It's unbelievable how many times they've won the face-off and then turned it into an answer or just a goal in general. Fisher looks good on all sides of the ball, including immediately after a goal is scored, and in the middle of the BSU box, Kinsa just balled out over 2 defenders.
What did I say earlier? Challenge, challenge, challenge. Where is the challenge? Kinsey finds so much time into the goal line, and if you give him time to set up that play, he will most always make it. Someone needs to be on these balls quicker. Those little fundamental mistakes in Rocket League have amounted to so much for Ball State, and at this point in the game, they still need to play perfect to even think about coming back.
Well, that's not perfect. 2 get beat by money, make it 3 as Zath dives in. 1v3 Daffy in a horrendous spot, but makes the save and gets the ball over the center line in the meantime. Well done, Daffy. I gotta commend you for that one, but still BSU needing a goal, and they've not found exactly possession, but it's not exactly possession for Fisher College either. They're having to work for it at the moment, and look for it Kinsa does. Into the air, they beat a couple and give it to a teammate in the corner, but BSU boostless, still trying to just hound as many blue cards as they possibly can. Zath, good save on the near post, but there's not a lot of boost in the tanks of BSU at the moment. I'm sure Fisher knows it, but they can't do anything about it yet.
Huge clear out for Fisher, and they've managed to keep this ball on the side of Ball State. Wova, nice challenge. Extra touch doesn't really go anywhere, but Daffy can't find the beat either, so this ball will float in midfield range, and Sosa gets the most gorgeous cherry pick pass that you can ask for. I've made one of those once, but I'm sure Sosa makes those all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Sosa will be too impressed with your one time off the backboard. Though I am impressed, Chicks. Though I'm not of pro caliber, I'm going to sadly say, and well, Ball State's I don't think too impressed with that goal either. As now they're down by 2 minutes left. This is a rough spot.
Rough, and so many other words, so many other synonyms that we could put right now on the side of Ball State, as that one also goes in on the challenge. Another one just might be confidence waning. It's going to be hard in the last 2 minutes for Ball State to find any sort of confidence. I think they're at the point in the understanding that this one may just go down in a sweep.
I would not be surprised if soon we start to see Ball State players just hurling themselves at the ball, trying to find something, make anything work, see if they can dig up a miracle from the ground in Game 4, because that's at this point what they need, because Fisher College is cooking at the moment. That one almost found its way through, but the crossbar thankfully sparing us a 5th goal, not 2 times in a row, so we appreciate it, crossbar. It's giving BSU a little bit more of a glimmer of hope to build upon, but 90 seconds now, 3 goals necessary, and they're still playing defense.
Still playing defense. This ball is still on the Ball State half. A drop down pass. Daffy will find a piece of the ball, and Wova, a little bit of a musty, doesn't really find the mustard all the way to the net, but a good rebound shot. Wova almost finds a piece of it again, but Zath unfortunately has to back pass this, and too much power put on this one. The ball back onto the Ball State half, only temporarily. Midfield presence instead. Money finds a couple extra touches, just buying the last 50 seconds of time until Fisher ends up winning this one. Wova looking for a drop down, but way too far. Caught up in the middle, and Zath demoed for all his efforts. Fisher looking like they may just end up with this one in that sweep.
Oh? Well, the narrative, perhaps a chance to change. We were ready to seal this one off and call it a Fisher College win, but Daffy had other ideas. Well done there, beating that lone defender back. Caught Fisher's defense spread apart, and now down by 2. There's a chance.
Now, kickoff's being the Achilles heel. This ball needs to be on the Fisher half to start, but instead it's stuck on that Ball State side, and they're not able to get it clear just yet. That's precious time that has gotten off the clock. Wova, good catch, looking to go underneath. Zap just isn't set up, and Kinze to block it away. That will just do it. One last save. One last ball that'll float in the air, but Fisher College manages to win yet another ECAC title, this one in Rocket League. Sosa, Money, Kinze win in a 4-0 sweep.
Unbelievable, the dominance we've seen this season in the ECAC, but well-deserved. Fisher College has been heavily recruiting esports athletes, and this is what they have to show for it. So I'm glad we have another big contender on the scene with schools like Northwood, like Ball State University to contend for those trophies. And folks, I'm sorry it wasn't more of an entertaining series outside of those first couple of games. I mean, Fisher College, apparently they're just not entertainers. They're just winners.
Yeah, I mean, Fisher has done well all season long. I mean, if we talk about outside of the realm of ECAC where they were undefeated, they, I believe, only lost one game in CRL this season as well, and then they ended up losing just that one series in the championship weekend. So they've been pretty undefeated all season long as a whole collegiate division. That roster has done wonderfully as well individually in RLCS, as we've mentioned, on their own teams. They've continued to impress and do wonderful work on the field.
Yeah, normally I would say something like, remember the name, they'll be big in a couple of years for the championship team's players, but they're already big. These guys have been there, done that when it comes to competition. So congrats to Fisher College one more time. We'll have an interview with one of their players coming up in just a little bit for your last taste of ECAC Rocket League for the season. So short break until then, we'll be right back.
To shine, now I think it's my time to count for them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got
All right, I lied. No interview after all. The Fisher College players are too busy signing autographs and hoisting their ECAC trophy after that dominant victory over Ball State University. So Chicksaw and I are going to say our goodbyes. Chicksaw, that was the last Rocket League ECAC stream of this season. It's unbelievable that we're already talking about the end of the season. So final thoughts, last word, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, thanks so much for ECAC having me this season for a couple of the weeks. It's been an absolute pleasure watching even more Rocket League because I just can't seem to get enough of it. Of course, again, congratulations to Fisher College. They have dominated all season long, so enjoy the victory. I'm sure they have finals as well. Thank you to all collegiate Rocket League players that have played in ECAC season. You guys are what makes it interesting. It was makes us scream on the mic all the time. So keep it up. I will be around as always. You can find me, and I'll be casting more Rocket League whenever I can.
All right. Well, that's our goodbyes for the ECAC season. Again, like Chixa said, so appreciative for everyone that watches and supports collegiate Rocket League and collegiate esports as a whole. I mean, there's still one more ECAC stream you can watch, League of Legends, later this week. So if you follow the channel, you'll get to keep up with all of the ECAC events and everything collegiate esports. But I've been Mr. Bepic, that's been Chixa. Big thanks to Esports U, and of course our wonderful producer, Professor Layton, in the background. They do so many wonderful things for the collegiate esports scene. But we do say goodbye for now, and we'll see you next semester.
Looking for more, my people, they got a soar. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. On my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud